Ujjvala varanam gauravadadeham vilasita niravadhi bhava videham Tribhuvana pavana kripaya lesham tam pranamami Shri Sachitanaya Gadadantara bhava vikara Durjana tarjana nada vishala Bhavaya vandana karana karunam tam pranamami ja Shri Sachitanayam Arunam varadhara charu kapolam Hindu vinindita nakachaya ruchiram Jalpita nija guna nama vinodam tam pranamami ja Shri Sachitanayam Vigalita nayana kamala jaladharam Bhushana navarasa bhava vikaram Ati ati mantara nitya vilasam tam pranamami ja Shri Sachitanayam Chanchala charu charana gati ruchidam Manjira ranjita pada juga madhuram Andhra vinindita shritala vadanam tam pranamami ja Shri Sachitanayam Ekakatidora kamantaludandam Divya kalevaram munditam mundam Durjana kalmasha khandana dandam tam pranamami ja Shri Sachitanayam Bhushana bhura jala kavalitam Kamsita bimba dhara vara ruchiram Malaya cha virachita ujjvala tilakam tam pranamami ja Shri Sachitanayam Inditaruna kamala dala nayanam Ajanulambita Shri Puja jugalam pranamami ca Shri Sachitanaya Ujjvala varanam suravarate Vilasita niravadi bhavaribhedham Vibhavari Shesha Aloka Pravisha Nidra Chari Utajiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Nishingavamana Shri Madhusudan Brajendralandana Shyama Jai Dasa Rama Yasoda Dula Govinda Gopal Vrindavana Purandara Priyajana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Vara Ravananta Kara Makhana Taskar Gopi Jana Vastrahari Vivodana Samasta Gunagana Dhama Jamuna Jivana Kili Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora
verses. So and after Kunti Maharani prayers, we will start with our Bhagavatam class. Hare Krishna. Is audible? Okay. We'll sing it together. Kunti uvacha namasye purusham tvadyam ishwaram prakrite param alakshyam sarvabhutanam antarbahiravastitam maya javanikachannam agyadokshajamavyayam na lakshase mudadrisha nato natyadharo yatha तथा परमहंसानां मुनीनां ममलात्मनां भक्ति योग विधानार्थं कथं पश्येमहि स्त्रिया कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय वकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये यथा ऋषिकेश खलेन देवकी कंसेन रुद्धाति चिरं शुचार्पिता विमोचिताहं च सहात्मजा विभो त्वयैव नाथेन मुहुर्विपद्गणात् विशान्महाग्ने पुरुषाददर्शनात् असत्सभाय वनवासकृश्रता मृडे मृडेनेकमहारथास्त्रतो द्रोण्यस्त्रतश्चास्म हरेभिरक्षिता विपदसन्तुता शश्वत् तत्र तत्र जगद्गुरो भवतो दर्शनं यत् स्यात् अपुनर्भवदर्शनं जन्मैश्वर्यश्रुतश्रीभिरेधमानमधपुमान् नैवारत्युपधातुं वै त्वामकिञ्चन गोचरं नमो किञ्चन वित्ताय निवृत्तगुणवृत्तये आत्मा रामाय शान्ताय कैवल्यपतये नमः मन्ये त्वां कालमीशानम् अनादिनिधनं विभुं समं चरन्तं सर्वत्र भूतानां यत्मिता कली न वेद कश्चिद् भगवं चिकीर्षितं तवेहमानस्य नृणां विडम्बनं न यस्य कश्चिद्दैतोऽस्ति करिचिद् द्वैष्यश्च यस्मिन् विषमामतिर्नृणां जन्म कर्म च विश्वात्मन् अजस्या कर्तुरात्मनः तिर्यन् ऋषिषु याधषु तद् अत्यन्त विडम्बनम् गोप्या ददे त्वयि घृतागसिदाम तावद् याते दशाश्रु कलिलञ्जनसम्भ्रमाक्षं वक्त्रं निनीय भयभावनया स्थितस्य सा मां विमोहयतिभिरपि यद्बिभेति केचिदाहुरजं जातं पुण्यश्लोकस्य कीर्तये यदो प्रियस्यान्ववाये मलयस्येव चन्दनम् अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वम् अस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषां भारावताराणान्यन्ये भुवो नावैवो ददौ सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो यात्मा भुवार्तिता भवेस्मि क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्या कामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्णानि करिष्यन् इति केचन शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्त्यभिक्ष्णश स्मरन्ति नन्दन्त्यवेहितं जना त एव पश्यन्ति चिरेण तावकं भवो प्रवाहो परमं पदाम्बुजम् अप्यद्य नस्त्वं स्वकृते हित प्रभो जिहाससि स्वित् सुहृदोऽनुजीविनः येषां न चान्यद् भवतः पदाम्बुजात् परायणं राजसु योजितामहसां केवयं नाम रूपाभ्यां यदुभिः सह पाण्डवा भवतो दर्शनं यर्हि ऋषिकानामिवेशितु नेयं शोभिष्यते तत्र यथेदानीं गदाधर त्वत्पदैरङ्किता भाति स्वलक्षणविलक्षितये इमे जनपदा सुहृद्धा सुपक्वौषधिविरुध वनाद्रिनद्युदन्वन्तो ये दन्ते तव वीक्षितये अथ विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्ते सुकेषु मे स्नेहपाशमिमं छिन्धि दृढं पाण्डुषु वृष्णिषु त्वयि मेऽनन्यविषया मतिर्मधुपते सकृत् रतिम् उद्वहताद् अद्धा गङ्गेवौघम् उधन्वती श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सकवृष्णिर्षभावनी धृग् राजन्यवंशदहनानपवर्गवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विजसुरार्तिहरावतार योगेश्वराखिलगुरो भगवन्नमस्ते तवाच प्रतिथितं कलपदे परिणोताखिलोदय मंदम जहास वैकुंठो मोहयन इव मायया. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll try to put the asanas that we can start our session. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Aji, we can put Jai Radha Madhav. Hare Krishna. Oh, Mother is not there. Okay. Not need. That's okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming for the Srimad-Bhagavatam class. Today's topic is the great fall of Trinavarta. We'll sing Jai Radha Madhav. I heard this tune last year when I was in GV. Jai Sachinandan Prabhu, he was doing this. He was singing this and Yamuna Aarti was going on. That time I just felt that time should stop. It was so sweet. So we'll sing that and then we'll start with this class. Yashodana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Madhava Jai Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Jai Shri Radhe. Jayo Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Narsimha Dev, Jaya Narsimha Dev. Jayo Mahaprabhu, 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 Jayo Mahaprabhu. Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. That time when I was hearing, I felt like the time should stop. But the way I was singing, I was feeling like when the time it elapsed. Anyways, it's a very it's a glorification of Krishna. Very nicely, it's been written. Maji, we can go to Mangalacharan prayers. the Bhagavad Gita Mangalacharan prayers. Or yeah, we can sing together. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shriyuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopiga Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shubhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisheshunyavati Pashadeshtarine. Mukum Kariti Vachana Pangul Langante Girim Shishat Kripatamam Bande Shri Guru Dintaranam Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna. So since day after tomorrow is Balram Purnima and next Monday is Janmashtami, I thought we can speak something on Srimad-Bhagavatam, canto number 10th. So we'll read from that. Once can we go to 10th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 31. 10:7:31. Again, thank you very much, all of you, for coming for morning Bhagavatam class. It's not easy, especially if you're coming from far, driving all the way here. So thank you very much. Yeah, we can go to the English part. Okay, you can repeat after me. Aho batatyad bhutam esha rakshasa. Aho batatyad bhutam esha rakshasa. Batatyad bhutam esha rakshasa. Balo nivrittim gamito bhyagat puna. Himshra swapape na vihimshite khala. Sadhu samatvena bhayad vimuchyate. Aho batatyad bhutam esha rakshasa. Balo nivrittim gamito bhyagat punaha. Himshra swapape na vihimsita khala. Sadhu samatvena bhayad vimuchyate. Anyone wants to recite? Aho batatyad bhutamesha rakshasa. Balo nivrittim gamito bhyagat punaha. Himshra swapapena vihimsita khala. Sadhu sametvena bhayad vimuchyate. Aho batatyat bhutamesha rakshasa. Balo nivrittim gamito bhyagat punaha.
Himshra svapapena vihimsita kala.
Himshra swapapena vihimsita kala.
Sadhu samatvena bhayad vimuchyate.
Sadhu samatvena bhayad vimuchyate. We'll do one more and then we can proceed. Who wants to sing?
Aho batatyadbhutamesha rakshasa.
Aho bhatyadbhutam esha rakshasa.
Balo nivrittim gamito bhyagat punah.
Balo nivrittim gamito bhyagat punaha.
Himsra swapapena vihimsita khala.
Himshra swapapena vihimsita khala.
Sadhu samatvena bhayad vimuchyate.
Sadhu samatvena bhayad vimuchyate. Okay, we'll do synonyms. Aho, alas. Bata, indeed. Ati, very much. Adbhutam, this incident is wonderfully astonishing. Like Krishna's, all the pastimes are very adbhutam, very astonishing. Right? Esha, this child. Who is this child? Krishna. Rakshasa, by the man-eating demon. Who is this personality? Trinavarta. Bala, the innocent child Krishna. Nivrittim, taken away just to be killed and eaten. Gamitaha, went away. Abhyagat punaha, but he has come back again unhurt. Himsra, one who is envious. Swapapena, because of his own sinful activities. So, here Yasoda, all the Gopas and Gopis, they are not giving credit to Krishna for killing. They are saying that it's because of his sinful activities that he got killed. Right? So, Srila Prabhupada will mention what is the mood of the Gopis and the cowherd men. Vihimsita. Now that demon has been killed. Khala, because he was envious and polluted. And there was a song, when I saw this word Khala, there was a song in Bollywood. You remember? Khalanayak. You can fill in the blanks. It is coming from Sanskrit, so they also use these words. Sadhu, any person who is innocent and free from, you can scroll down, free from sinful life. Any person who is innocent and free from sinful life. Samatvena, being equal to everyone. Bhayat, from all kinds of fear. Vimuchyate, becomes relieved. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. It is most astonishing that although this innocent child was taken away by Rakshasa to be eaten, he has returned without having been killed or even injured. Because this demon was envious, cruel and sinful, he has been killed for his own sinful activities. This is the law of nature, right? So they are not giving credit to Krishna. It's because of Trinavarta's sinful nature. Any innocent devotee is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a sinful person is always vanquished for his sinful life. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Krishna conscious life means innocent devotional life. This is the crux of this entire purport. Srila Prabhupada is saying that the Krishna conscious life is a simple, innocent life. We should not make our life too complicated. And a sadhu is one who is fully devoted to Krishna. As confirmed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 9.30, Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhag, Sadhur Eva Samantavya. Anyone fully attached to Krishna is a sadhu. Once devotee, some disciples asked Srila Prabhupada how to understand who is a devotee. And obviously they were coming from drunkards and all that, hippies and all. So Srila Prabhupada at their level gave the answer. He said that one who is addicted to Krishna, he's a devotee. So addicted. Nanda Maharaj and the gopis and other cowherd men could not understand that Krishna was the supreme personality of Godhead, playing as a human child, and that his life was not in danger under any circumstances. Rather, because of their intense parental love for Krishna, they thought that Krishna was an innocent child and had. You can scroll down. Yeah, thank you. So, rather, because of their intense parental love for Krishna, they thought that Krishna was an innocent child and had been saved by the Supreme Lord. In the material world, because of intense lust and desire for enjoyment, one becomes implicated in sinful life more and more. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhavam. Therefore, the quality of fear is one of the aspects of material life. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunamcha. This is a famous verse that we quote when we are doing Discover Yourself. But if one becomes Krishna conscious, the process of devotional service, Shravanam Kirtanam, diminishes one's polluted life of material existence. And one is purified and protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana. In devotional life, one has faith in this process. Such faith is one of the 6 kinds of surrender. Rakshishyatiti Vishwaso, Hari Bhakti Vilas 11.676. One of the processes of surrender is that one should simply depend on Krishna, convinced that he will give one all protection. That Krishna will protect his devotee is a fact. And the Nand Maharaj and other inhabitants of Vrindavan accepted this very simply, although they did not know that Supreme Lord himself was present before them. So they were full of Vatsalya Bhav, the Nand Maharaj and everyone. Not even a tinge of Aishwarya was there. We'll see that when we proceed towards the entire pastime of Trinavarta. Yeah, there have been many instances. His devotee is a fact, and Nanda Maharaj and other inhabitants of Vrindavan accepted this very simply, although they did not know the Supreme Lord himself was present before them. There have been many instances in which a devotee like Prahlad Maharaj or Dhruv Maharaj has been put in difficulty, even by his father, but has been saved under all circumstances. Therefore, our only business is to become Krishna conscious and depend fully on Krishna for all protection. So some of the important points here, we see that Krishna conscious life should be very simple and innocent life. A devotee should be very innocent and simple. That's what the mood of gopis and gopas were. When Shaktasur also got killed, they were all saying that Krishna kicked the cart. But the cowherd, Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda Maiya couldn't believe it because they are just so simple. So today we'll go through the entire pastime of Trinavarta. And we'll see at various points that what are some learnings that we can have from this entire pastime. So before proceeding, we'll just sing the Mangalacharan prayers that we usually recite for Srimad-Bhagavatam. So you can repeat after me. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam mudirayet Shinvatam swakata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Hridyantastva Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhatsatam Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye. Yeah. Thank you. So we'll be discussing today from the pastime of Trinavarta, the great fall of Trinavarta. Srimad-Bhagavatam is very, very sweet. There is a verse in Srimad-Bhagavatam 12:50. Mataji, if you want, you can go there to that verse. It's SB Srimad-Bhagavatam, verse number 12, Canto 12, chapter 12, verse number 50. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. Yeah, you can repeat. Yeah. Yeah. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. Tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam. Tadeva shokarnavashoshanam ninam. Yaduttama shloka yasho nugiyate. So this verse says that Yaduttama shloka yasho nugiyate. Yasho means yash. Yash means fame. Fame of whom? Uttama shloka of Krishna. When we sing, anugiyate, when we sing the glories of Krishna, then what happens? The first three lines tells that. It says that Tadeva ramyam ruchiram. So a couple of things happen. We get new realizations. We get deeper realizations. Right? Srila Prabhupada also wrote Srimad-Bhagavatam because he is adding his own realizations plus based on previous acharyas. Today we are going to discuss from various commentaries of Srimad-Bhagavatam. One from, also from Garga Samhita by Danvir Maharaj. Then obviously Srila Prabhupada's purports. Then Bhakti Rasayanam by Hari Parshad Prabhu. And also obviously by Vishwan Chakri Thakur, Sharda Darshini. And we'll see that how Navam, new realizations and deeper realizations we can get from reading Srimad-Bhagavatam again and again. And Ruchiram, we can relate to this Srimad-Bhagavatam. It's not something which is very alien to us and we won't be able to relate. Saying Ruchiram, we can relate to it. And Ramyam, it gives a lot of happiness. Tadeva Shasham, continuously we will get like a festival feeling. Utsava means festival. If you see the Utsav that we perform, we have festival now. On Monday we will have Balram Purnima and then we will have Janmashtami. We get like 12, 13 or maybe 15, 16 such festivals. But when we read Srimad-Bhagavatam in a year, but we read Srimad-Bhagavatam, it is saying that Maha Utsavam, it is a great festival for the mind, Manaso. Continuously, it's a continuous great festival for the mind. Tadeva Shokarnava. We might be having complaints ki, my life is full of miseries. All the miseries of the world is coming to me only by Krishna. It can be ocean of miseries, but it says Shoshanam. It completely dries up just by reading Srimad-Bhagavatam. We get so much happiness. So, glories of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, stories of Krishna, activities of Krishna. When we hear this or when we read this, it gives a lot of happiness. And that helps us to smaranam, that helps us to remember Krishna. So today that's what we are going to do. We are going to read about pastimes from Srimad-Bhagavatam 10th canto 7th chapter. So why did 10th canto even started? So 9th canto, Shukadeva Goswami already glorified the entire ancestors from Moon dynasty and Sun God dynasty. The 10.1.1 says, Soma Surya Ya. It says that already has been discussed. Parishit Maharaj says, Vistar mein. Vistar means in length, it has been described. But one personality has been skipped, and that is Krishna. Krishna was described briefly in 9th canto, but not in detail. So then 10th canto, Parishit Maharaj says that you please now describe the activities of Krishna. So then the activities of Krishna starts, 10.1.1, 10.2. There, all in the initial verses, Parishit Maharaj is requesting Shukadeva Goswami to please glorify now Krishna and the Yadu Vamsha, who is Krishna himself. And then when he starts discussing, he talks about his appearance and everything. Then he talks about, Shukadeva Goswami talks about the first demon, which was Putana. Putana was the first demon who came. And when did she came? What was the age of Krishna at that time? 6 days old. Imagine, 6 days old, Putana is coming. And ye yatha mam prapadyate, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And same way, she wanted to kill Krishna. How? Through, so that Krishna can, while he is sucking through his lips, the milk which is fed by Putana, so by the same lips, Krishna kills Putana. Krishna kills Putana by the same lips, which was supposed to be the cause of death for Krishna. Right? It is said that when the soul is trying to put Krishna in danger, they get endangered. when the soul is trying to put Krishna in danger, they get endangered, they get extinct. So Putana has the same situation. She was trying to kill Krishna, but in fact, the same lips was the cause of the death of Putana. Correct? That happened in the age of 6 days old. 6 days old. And then, once 3 months got, Utthana ceremony started. 3 months were done. And then who came? Shaktasur. Shaktasur came. And when Shaktasur came, that time all the cowherd men, and they were doing their own daily duties. And our dear Krishna was lying on the cart. And then Shaktasur came. Shaktasur wanted to hit Krishna on the lotus feet. First, the attack was on the lotus face. Next was lotus feet. And then Krishna thought, let's have some football. And then he kicked the cart, and then Shaktasur also died. That happened when Krishna was 3 months old. And then appeared Happy Birthday. 1 year, Krishna turned 1 year, and that time came Trinavarta. Now Acharyas explain, this is mentioned in Hari Suri's Bhakti Rasayanam, that why did Trinavarta came immediately after Shaktasur? Any demon could have come. Obviously, Kamsa instigated it. Pranodita, we'll see that verse in 20th verse of this chapter. But why Trinavarta only came? So the reason Acharyas give is that because Trinavarta, Trina means grass. Trina means grass, and one who can dig the grass very forcefully is Trinavarta. So by whirlwind, right? By strong, like when we do in house also, you will see strong blower, and that's when the grasses come out from the. So like that strong wind was Trinavarta. So, and Gokul means, it also means that place of cows. Gokula. Go means cows. So place of cows. And the cows subsist on grass. So Trinavarta is saying that they are subsisting on me. And if you want to bring the grass to Gokul, then how you have to bring from Vana, from forest you have to bring on a cart. And that cart was destroyed. So Trinavarta was thinking, the thing that I am dependent on to move from one place to another, that only this guy killed it. He destroyed. So out of revenge, he said, now I will only come. And he tried to, then Trinavarta came. So this is a story why Trinavarta came immediately after Shaktasur. So now we will go to the 18th verse, and we'll see through the entire pastime of Trinavarta and Krishna, that how Krishna kills Trinavarta. Maji, can we go to 18th verse of Srimad-Bhagavatam? This 10, 7, 18. And there is a reason why Srimad-Bhagavatam, especially this pastimes are mentioned in 10th canto. It's because one has to be ready before reading the first 9 cantos. Unless when we know the greatness of Krishna, we cannot appreciate Krishna's sweetness. In 9th chapter also Krishna is saying, and 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that this is a very confidential knowledge. But it is freely available. We also distribute Srimad-Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita left and right everywhere. Correct? But then how to understand that it is a confidential knowledge? So Srila Prabhupada explains gives a very nice example, which struck to me while he was giving a class. He says that imagine a husband who is carrying his wife's photo in his pocket. And he's taking that photo everywhere and saying that she is my wife and I keep her in her pocket. So then Srila Prabhupada is saying, who will appreciate hearing that? Now that everyone is aware of that now, that this husband is keeping his wife's photo in the pocket. But who will appreciate? One who has some relationship with that husband or wife. Correct? Only they will appreciate. Otherwise, for others, it's just a knowledge. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada says that one who has developed sambandha with Krishna, they can only understand this whatever Krishna is speaking. For others, it will just be FYI, for your information. But they won't be able to relate to it. It will be more like a FYI for them. But unless we have sambandha with Krishna, we cannot understand this confidential knowledge. And how we develop sambandha when we know about Krishna. And that's why 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is all about Krishna is telling, Arjuna is telling to Krishna, Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Arjuna is saying to Krishna, Krishna is saying to Arjuna. 9.34, he is saying that, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru, that please remember me. And then Arjuna is thinking that, but how to remember you? For that you have to tell me something about yourself. And then Krishna tells about entire of his vibhutis, of his opulences. in 10th chapter. So that's how we can remember Krishna. And same thing here. When we know the pastimes in the first 9 cantos, we know about his greatness. That's when we can develop our sambandha with Krishna. And that's why one devotee was mentioning in a class that how to understand if it's a bona fide sampradaya. There are so many organizations. Every person is coming up with their own philosophy. Right? Even in Srimad-Bhagavatam it's mentioned, you are defined a Muni only if you can come up with a new PhD thesis. Correct? You can come up with a new philosophy, only then you can be considered a Muni. Then how to understand which philosophy is right? So one devotee is mentioning, one can understand only if that philosophy is able to answer 3 things. What is the sambandha with Krishna? What is the abhidaya? What is the process to achieve that Lord? And third, what is the destination? What is the goal of that philosophy? If that philosophy is able to answer these 3 things, sambandha, abhidaya, and prayojan, then that means that philosophy has it's bona fide. So first thing is having sambandha with Krishna, and that's when we can understand the confidential knowledge or the pastime. We can appreciate the pastimes of Krishna. So in 7th chapter, the Shaktasura is already killed, and because Shakta was destroyed, Trinavarta comes, and now he is going to have some fight with Krishna. So one day it says, Ekadaro marudham lal. No, we'll sing now since there's only 1 hour. Ekadaro marudham lalayanti sutam sati garimanam shishor vodhum na sehe giri kutavat. So here he's saying ekada, one day. One day, aroham arudham. Arudham means sitting on the lap. Who? Krishna. On Mother Yasoda. Right? So the question now comes that if you see here, ekada is mentioned, which is one day. But Srila Prabhupada here is mentioning estimated to have been when Krishna was 1 year old. So how to understand that this one day actually means 1 year? Srila Prabhupada is mentioning 1 year, right? But how to understand that? That is mentioned in 10th canto, 26th chapter, verse number 6. Aji, we can go to the next tab. There Krishna says, Eka hayana asina. 10:26:6. Eka hayana. Hayana means year. Eka means 1. Asina means Krishna was sitting. We'll see in 20th verse also, he will say the same thing. Yeah. Eka hayana asino rihamano vihayasa detyana yas trinavartam aham kantha graharturam. So in this verse, Shukadeva Goswami is saying that what was the age of Krishna? He was 1 year old. Happy birthday day. It was one year. Krishna was 1 year old. Okay, we'll go to the 18th verse again. So, yeah, ekadaroham arudham lalayanti. How do you show protection to your child? Is by playing with the child, right? By feeding the child, by spending time with the child. Then child feels protection towards that personality. So, lalayanti. So, Yasoda Mai was also playing with Krishna. Sutam. Sutam is child, Krishna. Sati is who? Yasoda. So Mother Yasoda was playing with Krishna. And what are the different things she was doing? She was patting, she was taking the child and throwing up and picking up. So that way the faith was increasing. Then feeding milk, like these various things, kissing him. So all this, like this, Mother Yasoda was doing various things. But suddenly what happens? Garimanam shishor vodhum. Suddenly he became as heavy as mountain peak. Na sehe, she couldn't tolerate that heaviness. Giri kutavat. Why? Because his body became as heavy as the mountain peak. So now the acharyas are saying that why Krishna, why he is doing it? So that he can keep some distance. Now from Yasoda, we'll see in the next verse why he is doing that also. But there were many methods he could have applied in order to keep the distance from Mother Yasoda. Why he became heavy only? Right? He could have done anything to make Yasoda Mai keep distance. But why he did this only? Because Trinavarta represents a whirlwind, a very strong wind. It's like an astra, Vayu astra. In order to counterattack, like for example, if you want to counterattack fire astra, what is needed? Water. Similarly, something which is fire, Vayu astra, for that to counterattack, you need something which is very, very sthira, achala, not movable, and that is mountain. So he took the form of, or he became as heavy as mountain. Krishna says that in 10th chapter, Sthavaranam Himalaya, that I am the topmost among the immovable, that is Himalaya. So that is the reason why he became, Krishna became completely immovable. And there is also in Yoga Vashishta Ramayana, there is mentioned this King Vidurat was using Parvat Astra or weapon of mountain in order to counterattack the demons who were using Vayu Astra. So like that here we see that Krishna became as heavy as, not like this, but as heavy as mountain. We'll read the purport. Mansi, can we go to the purport? We'll see now why Krishna also was playing and why he wanted to play with Trinavarta also. We'll go to the translation first. Sorry, can you go up? One day, a year after Krishna's appearance, Mother Yasoda was patting her son on her lap. But suddenly she felt the child to be heavier than mountain peak. And she could no longer bear his weight. Purport. Maybe someone can volunteer to read the purport. Maybe we can start with Yash Prabhu.
Lala Yandi. Sometimes a mother lifts her child, and when the child falls in her hands, the child laughs, and the mother also enjoys pleasure. Yasoda used to do this, but this time Krishna became very heavy, and she could not bear his weight. Under the circumstances, it is to be understood that Krishna was aware of the coming of Trinavartasura, who would take him far away from his mother. Krishna knew that when Trinavarta came and took him away from his mother's lap, Mother Yasoda would be greatly bereaved. He did not want his mother to suffer any difficulty from the demon. Therefore, because he is the source of everything, Janmad Yasya Yataha, he assumed the heaviness of the entire universe. The child was on the lap of Yasoda, who was therefore in possession of everything in the world. But when the child assumed such heaviness, she had to put him down in order to give Trinavartasura an opportunity to take him away and play with him for some time, before the child returned to the lap of his mother.
Yeah, so Krishna was thinking, this is very nice. See, kids laugh when you throw them up and you pick them also, obviously. That is important, part 2. So they become very happy. So Krishna was thinking, this is very good, I'm going up and up. How about a guy go very, very up? Right? So then Krishna thought, yeah, Trinavarta is coming anyways, so I can play with him. Right? And then he wanted to keep distance. We'll see that in the next verse, why he wanted to keep distance. It says that, Bhumo Nidhaya Tam Gopi. Bhumo Nidhaya. Now, Mother Yasoda, Bhumo Nidhaya. She's trying to keep Krishna on Bhumo. Right? Why? Because Bhara Pidita. Vismita. She was very confused. She was very astonished. We saw that word, said astonished. She was very astonished. Bhara Pidita. She was feeling the pain. And then what she started doing is Mahapurusham. Mahapurusham started praying to Lord Narayan. Why? She thought that some ghost has entered, my dear Lala. So Mahapurusham Adaddev, she started praying. Who is that personally? Jagatam Asa Karmasu. Jagatam means he is the Lord of Universe. Lord of Universe is Krishna also, and Lord of Universe is Narayan also, and Asa Karmasu. She started doing her daily activities then. We'll see the next verse. Sorry, I spoke only. Maji, can we go to the next verse? Yeah. We can. Bhumo Nidhaya Tam Gopi Vismita Bhara Pidita Mahapurusham Adadyo Jagatam Asa Karmasu. Right? So we'll go to the translation. Feeding the child to be as heavy as the entire universe and therefore being anxious, thinking that perhaps the child was being attacked by some other ghost or demon. The astonished Mother Yasoda, astonished, Vismita, she was little astonished. What is going on? Astonished Mother Yasoda put the child down to the ground. Right? So this is Bhumo Nidhaya. She placed on the earth. And why only earth? She could have put Krishna on charpai, on some bed, right? On anything she could have kept, on maybe platform of the kitchen. But why only earth? So the Acharya explained that earth is also known as Dhara. Dhara means Dhatri, one can hold. Who can hold as heavy as mountain? Earth, right? And earth is one of the mothers also. So one mother is passing the child to other mother. In fact, Mother Yasoda's name is also Dhara. In 8th canto, 50th verse, Mataji, can we go to that verse? 10th canto, 8:50. There Mother Yasoda is told as Yeah, we'll go to directly to the translation. When Brahma said, yes, let it be so, the most fortunate Drona, who was equal to Bhagwan, appeared in Brajapur, Vrindavan, as most famous Nand Maharaj. And his wife Dhara appeared as Mother Yasoda. So other name of Mother Yasoda previous is Dhara. So like that, we can go to back. Yeah. So like that. That is why Mother Yasoda kept Krishna on the earth. And why Krishna wanted to distance himself is because he says that in Bhagavad Gita, walk the talk. Vyavasayitma kabuddhir ekeha kuru nandana. He was going to fight with the demon. He didn't want any disturbance that mother ko bachaun ya, should I protect my mother or the cow herd, men and women, or should I fight with Trinavarta? So he thought, let me just keep myself distance from Mother Yasoda. So that's why Mother Yasoda, he made some arrangement by which he can keep the distance. So, Aji, can we go to the verse? I just want to make sure if anything else I wanted to mention in this. Mahapurusham adadyo. Yeah, he was feeling the weight. Jagatam asa karmasu. So he started praying to Lord Narayan. So in one way, she is praying to Krishna for Krishna's protection. She is praying to Krishna for Krishna's protection. And this is the innocence. This is the innocence, right? And Jagatam asa karmasu. Asa karmasu. Now imagine, why she is praying to Krishna, to Lord Narayan, because she is scared that some ghost has entered, haunted my Lala, my Krishna. So if something like that is there, you will become panic and you will start going to various places, neighbors, and you will start calling them. But what she does, she kept it on the side and start continuing her household affairs. So Vishnu Chakra Thakur in Damodar Leela, in Sharda Darshani, he asked this question, that how can someone do like this? At one level, you are scared that someone has haunted Krishna, and then another level, you are leaving and going ahead. Same thing she does in the Utthana ceremony. She kept on the cart and then she is busy with her daily duties. After 3 months, you don't leave the child like that. And then in the case of Damodar Leela also, when Krishna is crying, she is running behind for stopping the boiling of the milk. Right? So Vishnu Chakra Thakur is saying that how is this possible? How is this possible? And then Vishnu Chakra Thakur says a very nice thing. We'll read that. Yeah, he says, Vishnu Chakra Thakur in 10.9.5 of Sharda Darshani, he says, oh wow, intelligent this child is. Saying this, Yasoda stopped churning and put Krishna on her lap to feed him her breast milk. But why did Mother Yasoda suddenly get up and leave? She got up to attend to the milk boiling over on the stove. But how could Yasoda show so much interest in boiling milk and that she left Krishna unsatisfied and hungry? This is the question that Vishnu Chakra Thakur is asking. Yasoda was so concerned for what Krishna would eat and drink that she could temporarily ignore Krishna. Only those under the sway of prema can understand or talk about the remarkable actions of one impelled by pure love of Krishna. We cannot understand that, but one who has that kind of prema can understand this. What is the mood of Mother Yasoda? No one else can understand these matters. This is what Vishnu Chakra Thakur says, right? And we can see that Rupa Goswami mentions in Nectar of Devotion. He gives a hierarchy of Vatsalya Ras. And he tells there are 9 personalities and they have particular ranking. Isme bhi ranking hota hai. So he gives ranking. He says the first highest in Vatsalya Ras is Yasoda Maiya. Then second he says is Nanda Maharaj. Third, he says, Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he says, Rohini. Fourth, he says, elderly gopis of Vraja. Then fifth, Rupa Goswami says, is Devaki. Sixth are the other wives of Vasudev. Why? Because now little bit tinge of Aishwarya is coming. Right? But in Yashoda's case, not even a tinge of Aishwarya is there. And seventh is, at least Radhashtami you should remember seventh. Kunti Maharani. And eighth is Vasudev. And ninth is Sandipani Muni. So this is the hierarchy that Rupa Goswami gives in Nectar of Devotion for Vatsalya. And highest we see is Yasoda Mai. There is no tinge of Aishwarya. It's full of Vatsalya. Right? And we cannot understand this mood. This mood can be understood only by someone who is at that level. If you see Srila Prabhupada, right, someone can question, Srila Prabhupada, he was at Vrindavan, in the epicenter of spiritual world. But he left that and went to epicenter of material world, in America, in Boston, right? But one who is a recipient of Srila Prabhupada's mercy can understand that why Srila Prabhupada did it, for a higher cause. Similarly, here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying the same thing for a higher cause, right? And obviously we should not think, oh, 7th, Kunti Maharani is 7th. But we should understand, 3/4 of the entire universe is spiritual world. In that also, top 7. Imagine someone, what level of consciousness she's saying that, Vipada Santu Saraswat, Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. He's saying that, give me some more problems in life, because then, Krishna, you come. And Yasoda Mai is saying other way around. When Krishna, you are there, then problems come. Right? The difference of consciousness. But we can't even think of repeating those verses. Krishna takes it literally then. Especially the Vipada Santu Saraswat. So that is the consciousness of Kunti Maharani. And we can understand this Vatsalya Rasa, and especially of Yasoda Mai. So she's at a very, very high stage. We can understand this through this verse. Yeah. In fact, there is one question that is raised that, oh, Devaki is so glorious that Krishna appeared in the womb of Devaki. So Gopal Champu, by Jiva Goswami, he narrates that entire pastime of how the appearance happens. He says that Yogamaya appears in Mother Yasoda, and after that, two-form Krishna also appears. And then Yogamaya carries the two-form Krishna towards Mathura, just like wind is carrying the blue lotus. And in Mathura, in the jail, 4-armed Krishna appears. And Devaki then thinks, Arey, 4-armed, this is fully Aishwarya, how will I love him? So then that Krishna subsumes to the 2-armed Krishna, which was brought by Yogamaya. And then Vasudev brings back to Gokul. So we see that Yasoda Mai was also very, very fortunate to have Krishna as his child. Okay, now the entry of who? Wherever there is actor, there has to be a villain also, right? So now it is happy birthday of Krishna. So he should get some gifts, right? And obviously maternal uncle will send some gifts. Now what kind of gifts you will send? Will you send the gift which you like, or will you send the gift which child likes? Child likes. So he is sending some dolls. Dolls, why? Because in Srimad-Bhagavatam, it is in 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 30. There, 3 to 30, there Shukadeva Goswami is saying that these demons that Krishna is fighting with, these are like playing dolls for Krishna. Playing dolls. Lilaya. See, we saw that Lilaya is playing, right? We saw that in the first 18th verse also. Krida is also means dolls, Bala Krida. So we can go to the translation. The great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by king of Bhoja, Kamsa. So Kamsa, as a very good maternal uncle, sarcasm intended, was trying to send some dolls in the form of demons for Krishna to play, because it was his happy birthday, right? To kill Krishna. But in the course of his pastimes, the Lord killed them as easily as child breaks the dolls. Child breaks the dolls. So Krishna was killing the dolls one after another. And he was enjoying these pastimes. Okay, purport someone can read. It's a nice purport. It talks about some of the demons which are coming in Krishna Leela. Who wants to read? Okay, maybe Tim Prabhu can read.
The atheist Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna just after his birth. He failed to do so, but later on he got information that Krishna was living in Vrindavan at the house of Nanda Maharaj. He therefore engaged many wizards who could perform wonderful acts and assume any form they liked. All of them appeared before the child Lord in various forms like Aga, Baka, Putana, Shakata, Trinavarta, Denuka, and Gardaba. And they tried to kill the Lord at every opportunity. But one after another, all of them were killed by the Lord as if he were only playing with only playing with dolls. Children play with toy lions, elephants, boars, and many similar dolls, which are broken by the children in the course of their playing with them. Before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like a toy lion in the hands of a playing child. No one can excel God in any capacity. And therefore, no one can be equal to or greater than him, nor can anyone attain the stage of equality with God by any kind of endeavor.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So we are seeing here, right? So 2 dolls were broken already. Putana and Shaktasur. So Kamsa, as a loving maternal uncle, he sends another doll to play so that Krishna can play. So now the entry of Trinavarta is happening, which is Daitya Namna Trinavarta, Kamsa Bhritya Pranodita. Right, so we'll see that verse now. Ajay, can we go to the 20th verse? Back, we can go back to that section. Yeah. Daityo namna trinavarta kamsa bhritya pranodita chakravata surupena jahara sinam arbakam. Arbakam is child. And jahara sinam, swept away. He was nicely sitting. Asinam, we saw that, right? Eka haina asinam in that verse also. So asinam is sitting. So Krishna was nicely sitting. But he swept away. Who? Daityo namna. A demon named Trinavarta. And this Trinavarta demon was the servant, Bhritya. He was a servant of Kamsa. He had pride in that I'm servant of Kamsa. I'm a servant of demon. Right? So based on our consciousness, that kind of people, friendship we want to keep with, right? Kulashekar says in Mukundamala Stotram, we were discussing during the Japa session. He says, Tava Bhritya Bhritya Paricharaka Bhritya Bhritya. He's saying to the Lord that I want to become servant of the Lord. And he's saying, Trinavarta is having happiness by becoming the Bhritya of Kamsa. Right? So what our consciousness is, that kind of personalities we want to become servant. So association matters. Association matters. And Pranodita. Who instigated this sending of Trinavarta? Kamsa. Pranodita. He instigated it. And what was the peculiar thing about Trinavarta? Chakravata. He was like a whirlwind. Chakra. Whirlwind. Chakravata Swarupena. His form was that of a whirlwind. In companies, when we are doing some work, some outages happen. After outages, what happened? Postmortem. It's called postmortem. Basically, why that outage happened and how can we fix it? It happens software world anyways. So similarly, first when Putana got killed, she took the form of demon. And demon got killed, she took the complete form. So the next Asura thought that having a visible form is a little risky. So let me become invisible. So then Shaktasur came as an invisible ghost. And he entered the cart. But he also got killed. So Trinavarta thought that full visible is getting killed. Full invisible is getting killed. So then he thought, okay, now we'll have half visible, half invisible. So the upper part, if you see, it is visible as a demon. And the below part is invisible, like a whirlwind. So, Chakravata Swarupena, Jahara Sinam Arbakam. So, why Trinavarta had to become a demon, that is mentioned in Garga Samhita. In previous life, he was a great devotee of the Lord, Sahasraksha. But he did some gadbad. He was a great devotee of the Lord, but Sakam Bhakta, he got into some enjoyment with some 1,000 women and all, and immediately that time Durvasa Muni came. And he was so much intoxicated in that he forgot to offer obeisances. And sages, wherever they go, they purify the person also and the place also. Yudhishthira Maharaj says similar thing to Vidura. So he immediately cursed Sahasraksha that you will become a demon. And Sahasraksha told Durvasa Muni, asked for forgiveness. He sought forgiveness. And then Durvasa Muni said, then in the next life, you become a demon, but you will be liberated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So Sahasraksha then became Krishna. And we discussed already, what does Trinavarta means? Trinavarta means one who has the capacity to uproot the Trina, the grass also, through the strong wind. So that is what Trinavarta is. Okay, we'll go to the next verse. Yeah, one thing. So when Yasoda Mai was holding Krishna, Krishna became very heavy. correct? There are various siddhis, 8 siddhis, Anima, Laghima and Mahima. So that time, Krishna took the siddhi of Mahima, became very, very heavy. But then the Acharya is asking, how come when Yasoda Mai was not able to pick up Krishna, but then Trinavarta was immediately able to pick up? So Vaishnava Chakri Thakur says it's because of the Aishwarya Shakti. Now he immediately turned into Laghima Siddhi. He immediately became as light as feather. That is one reason. And second reason he says is, because Trinavarta came as a guest, so as a host, he should stand up and welcome the guest. So like that. So he came like that. But because he did mischief, Trinavarta, he killed him. He did similar thing in Shishupal's case also. In Rajasuya Yajna, he was the one who was welcoming all the guests. Shishupal came, Krishna welcomed him. But as soon as he did some mischief by hailing some abuses, he immediately killed. He killed. Ye yathamam prapadinde tham sadaiva bhajamiham. So same thing. He was not able to pick up, but because of Krishna's Aishwarya Shakti, inconceivable energy, that's what Srila Prabhupada mentions, inconceivable energy, Krishna was able to be picked up by Trinavarta. Now in next 3 verses, there will be all the havoc that Trinavarta now is causing in that Gokul. So we'll read that now in verse number 21. Gokulam sarvam avrinvan mushnam chakshum shirenubhi irayan. Irayan means vibrating. Irayan sumaha ghora shabdena pradishodisha. So strongly this guy was vibrating, Trinavarta, that all the grasses were uprooted. And entire Gokul was completely covered by dust and storm and sand and pebbles, everything. The Gokul was, and because of that, mushrams, chakshumshi, the vision was covered of the Gokul. They were not able to see anything. Mushrams means taken away. What? Chakshumshi. The vision was taken away. Renu means again sand particles. So because of Trinavarta, everywhere there were sand particles and the entire Gokula was completely covered by sand particles. We can read the translation. Covering the whole land of Gokul with particles of dust, that demon acting as a strong whirlwind, right? Whirlwind, covered everyone's vision and began vibrating everywhere with a greatly fearful sound. Right? Someone can read the purport. It's a small one.
Trinavarta assumed the form of a whirlwind and covered with a dust storm the whole tract of land known as Gokula, so that no one could see even the nearest thing.
Yeah, so here also Acharyas are asking a question that, okay, your problem is with Krishna. So give trouble to Krishna. Why are you giving trouble to the entire Gokula? So on that, the Acharyas answered that Gokula means a place of cows. Cows subsist on grass. So Trinavarta, they are subsisting on grass, but they are taking side of Krishna. So as a revenge, he said that I will show them what it is. So like that. Now we'll go to the next verse. Here we will see that Yasoda Mai is also not able to see Krishna. She kept Krishna at a certain place, but now when she came back, she is not able to see Krishna. Muhurtam. Muhurtam means a very small time, 24 minutes. It's calculated as for a moment. Muhurtam abhavad goshtam rajasa tamasavritam sutam yashoda na pashyat. Sutam is child. Right? Rajasa tamsavritam. Rajasa is Raja. Raja is dhul. Raja dhul, which is sand particles. Tamsavritam is darkness. Entire Gokulam was covered with Rajasa and sand particles and darkness. Because of so much whirlwind, right? Sometimes tornado is there, it completely darkens the entire place. Sutam, child, Yashoda, na pashyat, could not see his child. Her child, wherever he had kept. Tasmin nastavati yata. Wherever she had kept her, when she came back, she couldn't see because entire Gokul was filled up with darkness. Correct? So we'll go to the translation. For a moment, the whole pasturing ground was overcast with dense darkness from the dust storm. And Mother Yasoda was unable to find her son where she had placed him. So the place where Yasoda Mai had kept Krishna, she was not able to see. So Acharya explained here that Rajasa and Tamasa is similar at our case also. Gokula also means eyes. Go means also Indriya. When the Indriya is covered, the senses are covered by Rajas and Tamas, then we cannot see Krishna. That is what the Acharyas explain. That when we have Rajas and Tamas covering our eyes, then we cannot see Krishna. Rajasa tamasavritam na pashyat. Sutam Yasoda na pashyat. Then we cannot see Krishna. And that's why we see that in Srimad-Bhagavatam, right? There is a verse, it says, Nashta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nishtiki tada rajastamo bhava kama loba dashe chatir anaviddam sthitam satya prasidati. That Nashta prayeshu, just by hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam, all the misgivings in the heart can be destroyed. And by that, what will happen? And we can also perform devotional service. When we start performing devotional service, then what happens? In the next verse it says, Tada rajastamo bhava. The mode of passion, mode of ignorance gets destroyed. But if it is there, mode of passion, mode of ignorance is there, then one cannot perform devotional service. One cannot see Krishna. So same thing here, when the cowherd man, the entire Gokula, the senses, also Gokul place also and senses also, when it was covered by Rajasa and Tamasa, darkness and passion, mode of passion, they could not see Krishna. So Yasoda Mai was not able to see Krishna, and because of that she was feeling very sad. And similarly, all the cowherd men were also not able to see. Next verse talks about that. Na pashyat kaschanatmanam. We'll see that next verse. Can we go to the next verse? Na pashyat kaschan atmanam param chapi vimohita Trinavarta nisishtabhi sharkarabhi upadruta. So na pashyat kaschan atmanam. So anyone was not able to see anything. Param chapi vimohita. They all were in illusion. Why? Because the entire Gokula was completely covered by dust, sand particles, pebbles and everything. So complete darkness was there for a muhurat, for a particular moment of time. And why it was like that? Because sand particles were thrown left, right and center by Trinavarta. Trinavarta, Nisrishtabhi, Sharkarabhi, Upadruta. That entire Gokula was in complete disturbance. It was complete disturbance. We can read the translation. Because of the bits of sand thrown about by Trinavarta, people could not see themselves or anyone else. Nothing they were able to see. And thus they were illusioned and disturbed. Right? Disturbed. There is a verse in Srimad-Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, verse number 10. It says, Prayanalpashya sabhya. Okay, she's 1:10. Kale vasmi yuge janaha manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya yupadruta. So it says, this age of Kali has prayanalpashya sabhya. It has a very short lives. And people in general are Kalavasmi Yuge Jana Manda. They are lazy. Sumanda Matayo. They are unintelligent. Manda Bhagya. They are unfortunate. And Upadruta. Same thing word came there also, disturbed. They are disturbed. So this is the symptoms of Kali Yuga. We can see the translation. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. So this means women also. Don't think only, both. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, unlucky and above all, always disturbed. Right? And Vishwan Chakri Thakur, he gives a very nice. He says there is a series of events in this words. He says, and he says that so the first thing that happens in Kali Yuga is we have short lives, which is no time. Sri Prabhupada says no time, a chronic disease. For anything, when we go for book distribution, people collect some books and we say, please come to the temple. They'll say, yes, aayenge. They'll come once a year for Janmashtami and then not to be seen again. That is also okay, at least they are coming. But what is the reason? No time. They are so busy. Right? So Vishwan Chakri Thakur is saying that the first problem is they have no time, short lives. But let's say for some reason, they have taken out some time. So then what happens is they are lazy. I have time today, but 4 a.m. who will get up? correct? Or who will go to Sunday feast? I'll just cook something here, and so that laziness is there, correct? Sluggishness. So Vishnu Shakti Thakur is saying, even if you have time, then the next problem comes is laziness, sluggishness. One cannot come to the temple, one cannot read Srimad-Bhagavatam, one cannot read Bhagavad Gita. And let's say you have taken out time also to read Srimad-Bhagavatam, to read Bhagavad Gita, to come to the temple. But then, third thing happens is unintelligent or stupid. Basically, you are not able to understand what is mentioned. Correct? You are not able to understand what is mentioned. And that happens sometimes when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad-Bhagavatam. It happens that we are not able to understand. But let's say some reason we are able to understand also Bhagavad Gita because of mercy of Srila Prabhupada. That we are able to understand also, but that knowledge we are not able to convert into action because of not having proper association. So that is unlucky, basically unfortunate, not having good association. Or you can think of it as substandard association, not having proper association. And we see that, right? We have read Bhagavad Gita and we go to some different philosophy and all, and then we get more confused, correct? So, but let's say you have come across a devotee and somehow you have that fortune also. You have got the understanding of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad-Bhagavatam, and you have been able to put it into action also. But then the final nail in the coffin that is disturbed, will always be disturbed, right? Or you can think of it like stressful. The series you can remember it as 5S. First is short lives. If let's say for some reason we have time, then second problem is sluggishness, which is lazy. If let's say that is also you are able to overcome. And the third thing is stupid or unintelligent. This was the word I got. Anyways, somehow if we are able to remember, right, this entire verse. Fourth is substandard association, right, or unfortunate. And fifth is disturbed or stressed, right? So that is the series, how Kali Yuga progresses. So like that, similarly, Mataji, we can go back to Srimad-Bhagavatam, that Trinavarta pastime. Similarly, entire Gokul Vasis, everyone were completely disturbed. Why? Because the entire Gokula was filled up with stone, pebbles, sand, particles, everything. Correct? So now if you see, Shukadeva Goswami is like, we see, right, sometimes we need bifurcation of the events. What verse to what verse talks about what section, right? There are sections. Shukadeva Goswami is creating the section automatically in this. Till now, whatever we were reading, Maji, we can go to verse number 24th now. This is 23rd, yeah. So till now, when we were reading the verses, it was Anushtup. Anushtup is 32 syllables, 8 syllables in each quadrant, correct? Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also like 32 syllables, right? It was Anushtup. It is known as a meter, Sanskrit meter. But now the emotions are coming out of Yasoda Mai and the Vrajvasis. They are crying now. So you can't have the same meter. You have to change meter. The angle is changing. It's now sorrow. Because in a movie, there has to be action, there has to be drama, and there has to be emotions. So now emotions are going like that, the slow music, slow sound and all. So now the emotion, if you see, is no longer Anushtup. The meter has changed. It is Pushpitagra. That is the meter. So we'll sing that now. Next two verses are different meter. And once the emotions are done and action is starting, then the meter will again change. Again it will back to Anushtup, and then some Trishtup will also be there. Anyways, we can sing this. Pushpitagra is similar to Bhishma Stuti. Bhishma Stuti prayers are also in Pushpitagra meter. So this is the same meter. Iti kara pavana chakra pamshu varshe. Maybe we can recite together. It's a nice. We see that the mood of Yasoda Mai, when she is not able to see Krishna, how her emotions are coming out. When we are not able to see Krishna, he says, okay, tomorrow we'll try. Yasoda Maya is completely getting very scared, and she's like crying. She's fainting on the ground. So you can repeat. Iti kara pavana chakra pamshu varshe. Chakra pamshu varshe. Suta padavim abala vikshamata. Suta padavim abala vikshamata. pabala vilakshmata ati karunam anusmarantya shochad bhuvi patita mritam vatsaka yatha gau. Yeah, the other way to sing it, Ajay, can we go back? Sorry, can go back. The other way to sing, if this is a little difficult, the other way is iti khara pavana chakra pamshu varshe sutapadavim abala vilakshyamata ati karunam anusmarantya shochad bhuvi patita mritavatsaka yatha gau. So Bhishma Stuti is usually sung like that. Anyways, so we'll go to the translation. Someone can read the translation. Someone can volunteer for that. Who wants to read? Prabhu, mic. You get extra brownie points.
Because of the dust storm stirred up by the strong whirlwind, Mother Yasoda could find no trace of her son, nor could she understand why. Thus she fell down on the ground like a cow who has lost her calf, and began to lament very pitifully.
Imagine a mother who is not able to find her child. What emotions she'll be going through. She fainted just like a cow is not able to see her calf. She was very, very scared. Where is my Lala? Where is my Krishna? Right? And the word that is used here is, one of the words that is used is whirlwind. Right? Why this was happening? Because of the strong whirlwind. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Krishna Samhita and also in Chaitanya Shikshamrita, he is saying every demon what it represents. Like Putna represents a false guru. Shaktashu represents a lazy person. And Trinavarta represents false speculation or having false pride, false speculation. Sometimes we have this, right? Because we use our own understanding and we might get into some speculation mode while understanding the Shastras. And Krishna is saying that if you try to do that, just a matter of time, Krishna will be away from you. Right? Because of Trinavarta, how Krishna was away from the Gokul Vasis. Similarly, when we do too much speculation or we create doubt in our hearts, then what happens is Krishna leaves us. Basically, devotional life goes away. It is mentioned in, we can go to 3rd canto, 26th chapter, verse number 30. 3:26-30. Their definition of doubt is given. What does doubt means? We all need to have some level of doubt, but it has to be at initial stage. But once we have been convinced of the Shastras, then we should take it as what it is. And if you're not able to understand for some reason, then we should pray and Krishna will reveal himself. So we can go to the translation and purport. Purport is, first paragraph is very, so we can read this. Doubt, misapprehension, correct apprehension, memory and sleep, as determined by their different functions, are said to be the distinct characteristics of intelligence. So doubt is is a symptom of intelligence. So it is good. But Srila Prabhupada will say it is at the beginning stage. At the beginning stage. Someone can read the purport. Yeah.
Doubt is one of the important functions of intelligence. Blind acceptance of something does not give evidence of intelligence. Therefore, the word samshaya is very important. In order to cultivate intelligence, one should be doubtful in the beginning. But doubting is not very favorable when information is received from the proper source. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that doubting the words of authority is the cause of destruction.
Is a cause of destruction, right? So that's what Trinavarta signifies. When we have too much doubt, then devotional service gets hampered and Krishna goes away. That's why Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, what should be the mood when we are approaching a spiritual guide, a mentor. It says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. 3 things he's saying. What he's saying first is, one should Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. First is pranipatena. One should approach a spiritual master, correct? But how that approach should be? It should be a sincere approach. Sincerely approach. And we saw that in Srila Prabhupada. At first, Srila Prabhupada, when he heard about Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he was not interested. But then when he reached there, obviously his friend said that no, he's not like other gurus. He's very bona fide. When he went there, that time, he went with the mood of sincerely approached him. Correct? Sincerely approached. And then second thing is pariprashnena. Submissively, he inquired. Right? So first is sincerely approached. Second is submissively inquired. And third is sevaya. Selflessly he served. Right? Selflessly he served. So sevaya. Upadekshantiti jnanam jnanena. Only for that kind of people, the knowledge will come. So doubt at the start is okay. If you see Parikshit Maharaj is also asking. Parikshit Maharaj is saying here, please tell me more about Krishna. Then he's asking why Prahlad Maharaj pastime even started. Because he's saying, Krishna, so Shukadev Goswami, I've heard that Krishna is sometimes little partial to his devotees. Is that true? And then he's asking a question. But it is in terms of curiosity. It is not in terms of doubt. That Aghasur pastimes happen. There also Parikshit Maharaj is asking, how am I to understand this thing? So he's asking the questions, but in the mode of submissively inquire. So sincere approach, submissive inquire, selfless serve. Right? So these three things. So tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti de jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. So that should be the mood. That's what Trinavarta is representing, a false speculation or false pride. So this verse talks about, the 24th verse that we discussed, it talks about whom? About the situation of Mother Yasoda. And 25th verse talks about the situation of all the cowherd men. When they saw Paradukha Dukhi, they were not, this son is gone, now my son will be glorified. They did things like that. They were also very sad seeing Yasoda Mai scared and not having Krishna around. So now they are singing. This is also same Pushpitagra. Both are sad, emotions are going through. Then action will come. Final climax. So, Ruditam anu nishamya tatra gopyo. Ruditam anu nishamya tatra gopyo. Brisham anutapta dhiyo shrupurna mukhya. Shrupurna mukhya. Rurudur anupalabhya nandasunum. Palabhya nandasunum. Pavana uparata pamshu varshavege. Pamshu varshavege. Pamshu varsha. This verse came before also this word, right? Pamshu varsha. You can read the translation. When the force of the dust storm and the winds subsided, Yashoda's friends, the other gopis, approached Mother Yasoda, hearing her pitiful crying. Not seeing Krishna present, they too felt very much aggrieved and joined Mother Yasoda in crying, their eyes full of tears. Right now they are also crying. And now Krishna is already taken away by Trinavarta. So now Krishna is realizing, I left mother and they are all will be thinking about where am I. So now he's into action. Suddenly he will become Lagima. He will become Mahima. He will become very, very strong now. We'll see from 26 to 30. 26 to 30, 27, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah, next 5 verses talks about the action pack. What happens? So now we'll just go to the translation since we have only 10 minutes remaining. We'll go here. Having assumed the form of forceful whirlwind, the demon Trinavarta took Krishna very high in the sky. How much? Garga Samhita explains almost 100 yojanas, which is 800,000 miles. Imagine 800,000 miles up. It is almost above the Bhumandal also like that. But when Krishna became heavier than the demon had to stop his force and could go no further. Right? So because first he was Mahima, when Mother Yasoda was there. When during pickup it was Lagima, then now it is again Mahima. Right? So again Mahima. And now he is not able to pick Krishna. Krishna he was not able to hold because of the weight of Krishna. It was getting too heavy now. Because of Krishna's weight, Trinavarta considered him to be like great mountain or a hunk of iron. But because Krishna had caught the demon's neck. So because he had caught the demon's neck. Like if you see, you try to put kids down. What they'll do, they will try to cling on you through the neck more and more. So Acharyas mentioned that it felt like, on a demon, it was like a blue sapphire. Neelamani was there, bluish Krishna. It was looking so beautiful. So he was holding on to the demon's neck. The demon was unable to throw him off. And why he was holding the neck? So that he doesn't shout. In case of Putana, when Krishna was killing Putana, Putana shouted loudly. Sa muncha muncha iti prabhashmi. He's saying, please leave me, leave me. She started shouting, please leave me, Krishna, please leave me. So that time all the cowherd men and women, they all got scared. So Krishna thought, this time, see, he's also learning. So he thought, this time I will not do this. So he, directly took the neck of Trinavarta so that he doesn't shout. But Garga Samhita says that still he shouted. He said, Muncha, Muncha. He said, please leave me. But he was not able to shout that far that the Brajavasis can hear, because he was 800,000 miles. And also he was holding it so tightly. The neck was holding so tightly by Krishna. So same thing. The demon was unable to throw him off. He was not able to throw him off. Why? Because he was getting so heavy and he held the neck so strongly. Krishna is strong, right? It is said that Helanam, Helaya, where he was holding the mountain also, he was holding the mountain Giri Govardhan very casually. Srila Prabhupada says that we see that in other philosophies, they are holding earth, but they are having so much pain. You have seen that photo, right? They are holding earth, but they are holding with lot of pain. But when Krishna is holding mountain, he is casually holding it. Helaya, he is casually holding it. So therefore, thought of child as wonderful, since he couldn't neither bear the child nor cast aside the burden. He was not able to put him aside also, cannot do anything out of it, right? So we'll go to the next verse. Here we see that Adbhutam, right? Just seeing the strength of Krishna, Trinavarta was appreciating that this guy has something. He's really strong. And because of that appreciation, also, he developed some Unmukhi Bhakti Sukruti. Right? You are appreciating. That's why devotees go out for book distribution. When people are just seeing them also, right? They might not take the books, but in the heart of the heart, they are appreciating, they are doing this. When we were in Yellowstone, I mentioned this before, when we were in Yellowstone, when we were doing the books, some of the people, they were saying, oh, you guys are doing such wonderful thing. You are spreading the Sanatan Dharma, right? So the appreciation is there. Just because of appreciation also, you get some Sukruti, some Unmukhi Bhakti Sukruti. And that's what Trinavarta also got, just because of, I was saying Trinamul, sorry. Trinavarta also got, just because of appreciating Krishna's strength. So 28th verse. With Krishna grasping him by the throat, Trinavarta choked, unable to make even a sound. Right? He was not able to make a sound. But Garga Samhita explains that, Muncha, Muncha. He said, Muncha, Muncha. Leave me. But that sound had no effect because he was holding his neck very strongly. Or even to move his hands and legs. His eyes popped out. Right? Imagine a cartoon when, sometimes our eyes popped out. The demon lost his life and fell along with the little boy down to the ground of Vraja. He went to the same place. See, imagine the perfection of Krishna. He died in the same place, exactly the same place where he had left him. Like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some thieves came to pick up Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He went everywhere, that thieves. Finally, they came back to the same place where they had picked up. So Yasoda Maya was thinking, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Suddenly, she is saying here, Krishna is again here. So the perfection of Krishna with all the height and all, he was able to land perfectly, airport, perfect landing. So Trinavarta fell on the slab of stone. Why on the slab of stone only? Why not anywhere? Because he was thinking Krishna as mountain, as heavy as mountain. So whatever you remember at the time of death, that's what you achieve. Correct? So he achieved stone only at the end. He fell directly on the stone slab. So I told before only, in 29th verse it is there, I think. But we can go to the translation. While the gopis who had gathered were crying for Krishna, the demon fell down from the sky onto the big slab of stone, right? Because whatever you remember at the time of death, that's what you achieve. His limbs dislocated as if he had been pierced by the arrow of Lord Shiva like Tripurasur. Like just how Lord Shiva had killed Tripurasur, Vishwanath Chakri Thakur says the arrow that arrow which was used to kill Tripurasur, it was Lord Vishnu was sitting on it. So just as how Lord Vishnu killed Tripurasur through the hands of Lord Shiva, like that, Krishna also killed this guy, Trinavarta. So we'll go to the last 30th verse. The gopis immediately picked up. Now these are all Trishtup. Open the Vajra, the name of the meter is. Anyways, we'll not go into, there's no time now. We have only 3 minutes. So, the gopis immediately picked Krishna up from the chest of the demon and delivered him, free from all inauspiciousness, to Mother Yasoda. Right? The gopis picked up and gave it to Mother Yasoda. Because the child, although taken into the sky by the demon, was unhurt, so no damage was done. Right? And now, free from all anger and misfortune, the gopis and cowherd men, demon by Nanda Maharaj even were extremely, headed by Nanda Maharaj, were extremely happy. So, and at the end of the movie, they sometimes says, in this entire movie, no animals were harmed. So similarly here also, they are saying no animals were harmed. No cows, all the cows were protected. Right? So whatever you see in Bollywood or whatever, it all comes from Srimad-Bhagavatam. They are all learning from Srimad-Bhagavatam. Right? So none of them were affected. None of them were harmed. And only one who was harmed was Trinavarta. Obviously because he misbehaved. Okay? So here the story ends. But now the interesting part comes, where we have only 2 minutes. So, have you seen gopis chastising Mother Yasoda? Mother Yasoda is Vatsalya, topmost Vatsalya. Sir. But here, the gopis are chastising. How can you leave Krishna like this? First they chastise, why don't you control Krishna? He is going everywhere and eating makhan. And here they are chastising because they were so much in anxiety. They were also in anxiety. Mother Yasoda was anxiety. Nand Maharaj was anxiety. Everyone was anxiety. So they were chastising Mother Yasoda that why couldn't you handle Krishna? How can you leave him so carelessly? So like that. We'll see quickly. 31st verse. After the next 2 verses we can, and then we'll end. It is most astonishing that although this innocent child was taken away by Rakshasa to be eaten, he has returned without having been killed or even injured. Because this demon was envious, cruel and sinful, he had been killed for his own sinful activities. This is the law of nature. Right? So they are not giving credit to Krishna, we discussed, right? They are giving credit, they are saying that because of the sinful reactions. This is the innocence of the Brajvasis. An innocent devotee is always protected by the supreme personality of Godhead, and a sinful person is always vanquished for his sinful life. Now chastisement will come. It is such a sweet relationship, right? Imagine the gopis chastising Mother Yasoda. If you just imagine, right? Nanda Maharaj and the others said, we must previously have performed austerities for a very long time, worshipped the supreme personality of Godhead, performed pious activities for public life, constructing public roads and wells, and also given charity, as a result of which this boy, although faced with death, has returned to give happiness to his relatives. So can we go to the next verse, 33rd? Yeah. Having seen all these incidents in Brihadvana, Nanda Maharaj became more and more astonished, and he remembered the words spoken to him by Vasudeva in Mathura. Anyways, they get chastisement and all, and then the movie gets over. So next part that comes is, now Krishna, she said in one of the verses, right, that Jagatam, when he was praying to Narayan, he says Jagatam. Yasoda Mai says. Why? Because he is the Lord of the universe. So Krishna thinks that, okay, I will show Yasoda now what I am. I am actually the Lord of the universe. So he eats some dirt, and then Yasoda Mai sees that Krishna has eaten dirt. Right? So she sings this. Krishna, Krishna, yes mother. Eating dirt, no mother. Telling lies, no mother. Open your mouth. And in that she saw the entire universe. Right? So next, first she is praying to Lord of universe. Next she is seeing the Lord of universe. And the next chapter, she is going to bind the Lord of universe, which is Damodar Leela. Okay, so we ended on time. Thank you very much. Sorry, we couldn't take any reflection. Yeah, but we will end. Mataji is entering. So, thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Wow, that was such a wonderful lecture. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I'm getting into the mood of Janmashtami already. Thank you. I'm still thinking of the lecture because I was hearing all through this morning, and I was seeing how nicely Prabhu has put together the verses and the meters, and how the mood of the devotees speaking those, it just comes out, the emotion comes out, and that's the real bhav, the mood that we all try to imbibe, especially in our, path of bhakti yoga. So now we will continue on to the next part, which is the Kaishura Youth presentation. So Vedant is going to be presenting. And this is again from a chapter from the book Disapproved but Not Disowned. We are continuing that series. And today's story is again a very special episode from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, very popular pastime from the 6th canto on Ajamila. So I'll let Vedant talk about what we can learn from the story of Ajamila.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today I'll be presenting on His Grace, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's book, Disapproved but Not Disowned. It was a peculiar sight in the olden days, a lusty man embracing a prostitute. More so, doing it in public ways rather than behind closed doors. With no shame nor culture, a man smiling, singing, and enjoying with her, their eyes filled with intoxication, and the man's body smeared with turmeric. Such was the condition of the prostitute when Ajamila had first glanced at her. The pastime of Ajamila gives us a deep understanding of what true love and devotion is, and how one can easily sway from the path of bhakti. The pastime of Ajamila. Under the ordain of his father, Ajamila traversed the forest to gather fruits and flowers to offer to Lord Vishnu. On his venture back home, Ajamila was seized by lust towards the scene in front of his eyes. Under great distress, Ajamila fled the scene. Although Ajamila had left the scene had not left his mind. Even though Ajamila was endowed the qualities of a good man, his self-control was ultimately unable to conquer. Seeing a lusty affair in front of him, Ajamila attempted to remember the scripture's instructions on self-control, but due to the force of his mind, he failed to do so. This shows us that worldly desires are so strong that even the most learned people, just like Ajamila, can get victimized by it. Let's take a look at the 10 stages of attraction and how Ajamila falls into these categories. Number 1, Chakshuraga, attraction through the eyes, which is what Ajamila had first experienced. 2, Chitta Sangha, attachment in the mind. 3, Sankalpa, determination. 4, Nidra Cheda, loss of sleep. 5, Tanuta, becoming emancipated. 6, Vishaya Nivriti, disinterest in other things. 7, Trapanasa, shameless. 8, Unmada, madness. 9, Morcha, becoming stunned. And 10, Mriti, death. By stopping oneself at the first stage, one is able to sway from the material pain of all the other stages. Ajamila, being unable to do so, carried on to further stages for sense gratification. As we go deeper into the pastime of Ajamila, we can notice how Ajamila slowly falls victim to these 10 influences of attraction. These 10 influences of attraction teaches us that regulating sense enjoyment by discriminating between extravagance and necessity can save one from a lot of pain. Ajamila, throwing away his Brahmin duties and desperate to see the prostitute again, made her his maid. He then proceeded to buy her lavish items and spend his inherited money on her. Over time, he left his wife from a respected family to run off with this prostitute. Following the way of the prostitute, Ajamila became materially entangled and was lost with intoxicants, started living unclean, and addicted to foreign substances. He went on to have 10 children with the prostitute, with his youngest being Narayana, who was adored by both his parents. Narayana was a constant emanating thought in Ajamila's mind. With the forgetfulness of his time nearing its end, Ajamila was petrified when he saw the Yamadutas, the servants of Lord Yama, the god of death, standing in front of him, ready to take him away. With great fear and anxiety in his eyes, Ajamila called upon the only thought on his mind, his son, Narayana, who was sitting and playing nearby. Although his son Narayana had not heard his cries, Lord Narayana heard his devotee's desperation and helplessness, and although Ajamila was deviated in his devotion, Lord Narayana still did not give up his love for him. Ajamila is a prime example of the following. In ignorance, we ignore people who really love us, and love those who have no intent or ability to reciprocate with our love. One who knows God as a supreme lover and a supreme lovable person is a real knower and relisher of true love. God is always merciful. He finds some reason, indirect or direct, to show mercy even upon sinful people. Back to the pastime. Attempting to snatch the soul from Ajamila's heart, the Yamutas were stopped by the Vishnudutas, who had arrived after hearing Ajamila call upon the name Narayana. A debate then proceeded, with the Yamutas calling Ajamila a sinner who must be taken away, and the Vishnudutas calling him a Vaishnava who chanted the name of God. At the end, the Vishnudutas successfully released Ajamila from the Yamadutas' clutches, and Ajamila was then given a second chance on the path of bhakti to attain perfection and go back to the kingdom of Vishnu. He did this without fail, learning from the mistakes of his previous sinful actions. The pastime of Ajamila teaches us that God is merciful enough to forgive and accommodate even sinful people, but one should not take undue advantage of God's mercy and purposely commit sins. This pastime of Ajamila takes place in a 6th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam on how a Brahmin's, Ajamila's, senses were polluted due to his attraction to a prostitute. On the verge of being sent to hell, Ajamila was saved by Lord Narayana and given a second chance on the path of bhakti to attain perfection. The pastime of Ajamila inspires us to take shelter of the holy name attentively, inoffensively, and faithfully. Ajamila chanted the name Narayana while dying. What will happen if one chants Narayana while living? Ajamila chanted Narayana to indicate his son. What will happen if one chants Narayana to indicate God? Ajamila chanted Narayana without faith. What will happen if one chants Narayana with faith? Ajamila was one of the most sinful people. What will happen if a sinless person chants Narayana? Ajamila had committed a variety of sins, but yet Lord Narayana still never disowned him and still showered his love and mercy upon him. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Please feel free to ask any questions now. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Any questions? Okay, please take the mic.
Hare Krishna. I was thinking about this actually in the last couple days. There are a lot of people who experience a lot of suffering in the moments before they die, and they live perhaps most of their lives in an atheistic lifestyle or something, but because of their intense suffering, that I think a lot of them, it causes them to think of Krishna in the final moments. So I was wondering if these people also attain spiritual bodies, even though they haven't read the scriptures and they don't perhaps have as much understanding as we do. Do they, if they have a similar fate as Narayan's father?
To answer your question, like I said during some of the morals, Krishna is Lord Narayana is very merciful, and even if you chant his name unintentionally, the potencies and himself is so merciful that he still he'll take you back with him, and even if so, you're given a human birth in your next lifetime to hopefully get a second chance on the path of bhakti and attain back to him.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a wonderful question. Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for such a wonderful presentation. I had a comment and then also a question. I just want to comment that I love how much of the story you've taken to heart. In your presentation, you relied so heavily on images instead of putting words up there. And so when we were hearing the story from you and seeing the images up there, it really enveloped me in the moment. My question for you is, you went through the 10, the 10 steps of attraction. At what point in those 10 steps, as we're learning how to overcome our attraction to material desires, when can we catch ourselves, and have you found times where there's certain activities that help you catch yourself?
Let me go back to that slide. Yeah, so the earlier you can stop yourself, the better, but there's still always hope. Just like for Ajamila, he fell all the way to the 10th stage, but yet he was still able to attain the Lord. And for the second part of your question, some activities you could do is definitely doing japa, chanting the holy name, reading the scriptures, attending lectures, and getting devotee association. Those are just some of the many ways that you can help prevent going deeper into these stages and influences of attraction.
Nice question. Yes, Tadiya Seva Prabhu. Yeah, can you speak on the mic, Prabhu?
So it's not a question, it's a comment. If you look at the story of Bharat Maharaj, the Bharat Maharaj, or Jad Bharat, he sacrificed everything to go to the forest and practice his devotional service. But unfortunately, he was attracted to a deer. So similarly, we see many incidents in Bhagavatam, like this one, Ajamila's story, where he was a strict Brahmana, but he was allured by by an attraction to a prostitute. So for all of us also, we cannot take things for granted, and anybody can fall victim to Maya at any time. So I just want to comment on that. We have to be very careful and diligent, and take help from devotees as much as we can on the path back to Godhead. Back home, back to Godhead, sorry.
Excellent point, Prabhu. Yeah. Even for me personally, while I was listening to you, I want to share this realization that Srimad-Bhagavatam, it starts with so many basic foundational aspects for us to be purified of the consciousness that I am the controller, right? Even though in the first canto we see Bhishma, we start with Narad Muni, his past life and how he becomes a devotee. It starts with the fundamental aspect of Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprashnina Sevaya, like Prabhu was mentioning. The first step is to find the right person who can guide us, and then serving them with humility. So first is finding, and then also having the attitude to serve. Both are important. As we progress through different stories in the Srimad-Bhagavatam, we realize how Krishna's material energy is so strong. Like you mentioned, Bharat Maharaj, we know the Ajamila story. There are different stages. All these, actually, they're all exalted devotees to be in the Bhagavatam also, right? Even Indra, he does so many mistakes, but he's in the Bhagavatam. So they're all going through their own purification. And there are so much, even though they may have a lot of background of pious activities or even association with devotees, still they can fall for the, lurement of material energy. And my understanding is the purpose of again and again hitting that point of being succumbed to these kind of pressures from the material energy is finally to realize I am not the controller. And Krishna's power is mystical. Only when I reach that point am I ready to understand the 10th canto. Otherwise, I'm not ready to understand the 10th canto. Right? That's what Prabhupada says. We have to go step by step in our learning, because if I directly try to understand Krishna's pastimes, I am still affected by modes of material nature. I am still subject to Maya. I am still subject to so many other things. Still, I will never be able to understand Krishna or even his, mystical pastimes from the 10th canto. So yeah, this is a wonderful realization you shared, Prabhu. Thank you. Any other questions or realizations we like to hear?
Yes.
You have a question, Mataji? Should I give you a mic? So question is, how is each step different, if you want to share?
Yes, sure. So it kind of progressively stacks, so it keeps getting further and further, and you still have the previous ones. So as you can see, each one is a different one, right? But it adds to each other, and that's what makes it greater and greater and greater, all the way until it all adds up and leads to that. Does that make sense, Mataji? Yeah, I can try my best, yeah. Okay.
I would like to ask Manjula Kanta Mataji to answer that question.
So these stages are not actually covered in the Bhagavad Gita like this, but the Gita gives you a very nice explanation of the concept of getting attached. And if you go to chapter 3, you will see towards the end of chapter 3, he talks about it, because Arjuna is asking, what is it? And Krishna says it's lust. Lust, Arjuna, that gets you completely entrapped in this material world. And where does lust start? Lust starts here. When the senses connects to the sense objects, and then you observe. So you wanted a simple example, like when I look at an ice cream. I'm out there, Palo Alto, doing kirtan, and there's this really nice ice cream shop, and I'm walking by, going to kirtan, and I see the ice cream. I'm like, so my eyes see the picture, and then in my mind comes a sense of how tasty will this ice cream be when I eat it. So from Chakshuraga, I'm going to Chittasanga. I'm moving to the next step where I'm just not seeing or connecting with it, but I'm thinking about it. And as I'm walking on, I'm thinking, okay, as soon as I finish this Sankirtan, coming back, I am going to eat that ice cream. And that's my third stage of Sankalpa. I have decided. I have added determination to my thought process. And if I don't get the ice cream because the shop closed, then I go home thinking, if only I had eaten that ice cream, and I go to bed thinking, tomorrow I will eat that ice cream. There I'm progressing. And as you can see, if a simple ice cream that affects only one sense of taste can do this to me, how easily and vulnerable I am to the material world. Which is why Gurudev always says to inoculate yourself before you head out there. You read one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, you finish your rounds in the morning, try to use the Brahma Muhurta to give you that extra kick. And then once you've inoculated yourself in this little bubble that keeps you safe, you can step out into the material world, because as all the acharyas tell us, it's a war. Every day morning we wake up and we recommit ourselves to staying on the path of Krishna consciousness. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 will take you further. It talks about all this attraction, but this is much deeper, Matajis. So this is for somebody who's really, like Ajamila, taken with the waves and moving fast.
Hare Krishna, thank you for that explanation. Is it possible that these 10 stages of attraction have a reflection when attraction to spiritual life?
Yeah. But then that's the 9 stages, right?
Okay, there we go.
We reverse it. So with spiritual life, it is the 9 stages, right? And where does it all start? It all starts with association, right? Getting association of devotees.
Yeah.
Even to find Guru, we start with association. So that's why we pray that, we have that agyata sukriti, that somebody can somehow, somewhere, some point, we get in touch with the Lord's devotees. Because just like the name is more merciful than the Lord himself, the devotees are more merciful than the Lord. And we want to get that. That's how we find association, and that takes us further. Hope that helps.
This is summed nicely in the 9th canto, prayers of Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj is an example of the epitome of perfection in all the different types of bhakti. So the the 9 processes of Prabhu, yeah, he's actually the perfection. He perfects all 9 processes of bhakti. He's an example for that, and it is so aptly positioned, the Ambarish Maharaj story, in the 9th canto, just before we begin the 10th canto once again, and he talks about how we should use everything for Krishna service. If we have legs, walk to the temple. If we have eyes, look at the deity, like that, so on and so forth. So that will keep us sheltered. Engage every aspect of your working and the karmendriyas and the gyanendriyas, the knowledge acquiring senses and the action oriented senses for the service of the Lord. Thank you. Vedant will stop here. I want to mention Vedant is the son of Manjula Kanta Mataji, and no doubt you are going to be very successful, and I pray for your all-round success in your material and spiritual life, so that you can set an example for the rest of us and grow up to be a wonderful Vaishnava, which you are already, but you always can keep expanding your services, which I'm sure you will, under the guidance of your wonderful parents and your sister. So it's such an honor to have you, Vedant, and I want to mention it's been my honor to be his teacher since he was a little boy, and now he's going to be 15 very soon, and I'm very proud of him. It makes my heart jump in joy to see him talk such high subject matters. So thank you, and a big round of applause to you. And thank you all for your kind attention. Request you all to now prepare the room for Guru Puja.
Nama Shreshtam Manumapi Shati Putramatra Swarupam Shri Rupam Tasyagrajam Murupurim Mathurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi He Guru Jnanada Dina Bandho Svanandadata Karunaika Sindho Vrindavanasi Nahitavatar Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachar He Dina Bandho Karunaika Sindho Kuru Prasadam Mai Manda Mudhe Laksha Paradhe Bahupapa Gadhe Tatpada Padme Stumatischa Krishne Naivopayantyapachatiim kavayastavesha Brahma yushapi kritam riddhamudasmaranta Yontarbahistanubhritam ashubham vidhunvan Acharya chaitya vapusha svagatim vyanakti. Without serving the representative of Krishna, nobody can approach Krishna. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Shachi Mata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, and his older brother Sanatan Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radha Kund and Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhava in Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, O friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss, and you are the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended for the welfare of fallen souls like myself, and you are preaching the divine love of Radha for Krishna. Please be kind upon me. O friend of the lowly, O Gurudev, you are the only ocean of mercy. I am a dull fool and have committed hundreds of thousands of offenses. I have fallen into a dense myriad of sins. Therefore grace me with your mercy, so that my mind may be fixed on your lotus feet and on Sri Krishna. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the long lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Supersoul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Our only wish is to have our consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens our darkened eyes and fills our hearts with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Vandonmui Savadhana Mate. Vandonmui Savadhana Mate. जहर प्रसादे भाई ए भवतोरिया जाय। कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय जहा होयते। कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय जहा होयते। गुरुमुख पद्म वाक्य चित्ते ते कोरिया ऐक्य। गुरुमुख पद्म वाक्य चित्ते ते कोरिया ऐक्य। आरना कोरी हो मने आशा। आरना कोरी हो मने आशा। श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति। श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति। जय प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा। जय प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा। पुराण दिलो चकुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से। दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित। प्रेम भक्ति जायते अविद्या विनाशायते। प्रेम भक्ति जायते अविद्या विनाशायते। वेदेगा जहर चलितो वेदेगा जहर चलितो। श्री गुरु Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Jivana Lokanath Lokera Jivana Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna
Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtata Shishmad Abhay Charana A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtata Shishmad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की, श्री वृंदावन धाम की, श्री मधुरा धाम की, मायापुर धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगामाई की, जमुनामाई की, तुलसी महारानी की, Transcendental Book Distribution की. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Huh? Bhakti community?
Hare Krishna. So happy to see you all for the Saturday morning program. As we know, we are getting busy, getting ready for Lord Balaram's appearance day on Monday and following with Janmashtami. It's a very good time to go out and spread the message to everybody and bring them to the temple. At the same time, give out the mercy in the form of books. So regarding the Sankirtan announcements, there are two devotees who belong to the Western Sankirtan team who go out every single weekend, if not more than weekend. They go to farmers markets across the Bay Area, in Oakland and every place. And one thing consistently we see is that wherever they go, their Lakshmi scores are huge. Even in farmers markets in Oakland, you know. Yeah. So we would like to request His Grace Vaishnava Toshni Prabhu and His Grace Adinath Krishna Prabhu to share some of their experiences. And with Vaishnava Toshni Prabhu especially, what does he say? Because the moment he asks something, people just give him donations. So, Prabhu, please, would you like to?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, like when we go for the book distribution, we go as a team. So, I mostly go with Adinath Krishna Prabhu and Kautuk Khanna Prabhu and other team members. So whenever we approach any passerby who is a little bit inclined in taking books, so we first basically give a dump of what this book is all about. So we generally say these books are on meditation, talks about how to get rid of stress and anxiety. So, and every devotee knows we do the same lines. So we just say that it's a 5,000-year-old knowledge, and these books have been translated in about 100 languages. And they take the books, and once they take the books, then we also say that these books we distribute it freely in all the places where they can't afford this knowledge, like different places, especially in villages in India. And we say that it's called a Gram Vidyadan, where we give this knowledge freely. But it is only possible if devotees like you who are taking the books can also sponsor a bit. It doesn't matter. It's from your heart, whichever appeals to you. So we just ask, depending upon how inclined they are, we say that they can either sponsor half a box or full box of Bhagavad Gita. And if it is an Indian audience, generally we are basically we request multiple times to them that they can do Gram Vidyadan, because they know at least what that Gram Vidyadan actually means. They can relate more. And then we also tell them based on which region they are in. If they are from Bengal or Orissa, they would definitely know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And once we say about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then their heart melts, and then they give us basically they give us the sponsorship. Basically, we have seen a lot of people from even from South India. They are very pious, and they definitely give Lakshmi very easily. So Adinath Prabhu can share more about this.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. I'll mostly echo what Vaishnav Doshni Prabhu said. He's an expert in sales. He's a spiritual entrepreneur. And mostly I just observe him and the other Sankirtan devotees. As he said, in terms of the Indian bodies, they're generally very pious. And they understand the value behind Vedic culture. People are actually sweet by nature, but the material world tends to hamper that sometimes. So we just remind them of their sweetness, and then we arouse their natural inclination in which to give charity. And Vaishnav Prabhu and others are very meticulous in this field. For example, many times we'll get some apprehension around wanting to give donations, but then if we express it as a form of dakshina, I'll be particular. One gentleman came, he parked in the handicap parking spot. Immediately Vaishnav Prabhu had a connection with him and stacked up a number of books and offered it to them, including the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the elder gentleman happily accepted it, and Prabhu helped him load it onto his vehicle and everything. So it's not just, here, you get the books, I take the money, and that's it, end of story. He helped the elderly gentleman all the way to his vehicle and saw him off. And also these things go a long way. As His Grace Vaisheshika Maharaj has said many times, it's not about distributing books, it's not about collecting Lakshmi, it's about leaving a good impression. Just become their best friend. Suridam Sarvabhu Tanam. We follow in the footsteps of the perfect person. And although not you, but I may be imperfect, because we're presenting the perfect message, we become perfect in that way. So other than that, we're excited to announce several spots around the Bay Area for Western Sankirtan, or as His Holiness Devamrita Maharaj said, non-traditional audience. However, it's mixed up. We have some Sunnyvale, we have Fremont, we have Scotts Valley. Yeah, so a number of different places, and just local grocery stores in general. Around midday, especially evening, is prime time. So 12 to 2 p.m. respectively, and then it picks up again 5, 6 onto the evening hours, where Her Grace Malini Mataji is keen on this subject matter. So I'll pass it off. Thank you for your kind attention. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. I would like to end with one story that happened last week. We usually share success stories that, they took Bhagavatam, it was really nice. This time, it was rather sad because if somebody doesn't get books, then we feel like, they missed the opportunity for some reason. So there was a very nice couple we met in Livermore. And the wife was almost resonating with everything we said. We said, these are the books on yoga meditation, these are preservation of the Vedas. And she said, yes, we have to preserve them. The print will last for 500 years. She said, 5 generations can make use of it. So she was actually resonating everything that we were saying. And she was so keen on getting the books. And the husband said that, no, not this time. And we tried to convince the husband in many ways. Your kids will benefit. They had 2 kids. Your kids will benefit. Your family will benefit. It's good vastu. It's this, that. We tried our best, but it broke our heart to see that the person said, maybe next time. And we saw the look in the wife's face. She was almost in tears, because she was talking very nicely, but as soon as the husband said, she immediately just left without even looking back. So we were just so brokenhearted to see. And we just made a prayer for that wife that, someday or the other she could get the set of Srimad-Bhagavatam, which she was so interested in. And she also said she was a homemaker, and she said she has time to read, and she loves to read. So if you see from a barometer of those who are favorable to read Bhagavatam, she had almost every qualification, but it's just that maybe not the right time. So we request everyone to make prayer, not just for that person who didn't take the Bhagavatam, but for everybody in the world who are deprived of Srimad-Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and all the other Srila Prabhupada's books, that may the entire world will be covered with books. Thank you very much for considering this request. And we will continue in Cupertino, San Ramon. There is one team going to Manteca. There's a festival there. We have a table there, one in Manteca and one in Fremont as well. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, and this is a request from the festival team that if you might have seen, we have those flyers, Janmashtami flyers. This is a good time to pass it on. And if you're going out on Sankirtan, that's the best conversation starter, inviting everyone to the Janmashtami festival, and then you can talk about the books later. But even if you're not going out on books, take some flyers. They will be available outside here. You can place them in your workplaces if it's allowed, or to your friends, wherever you go, grocery stores, etc. So please take some flyers with you on your way out today. And now, Tadiya Seva Prabhu will announce the cooks.
Today's cooks are Hitesh Prabhu, Shekhar Prabhu, Shama Bhakta Prabhu, Purushottama Prabhu, and Ramapriya Prabhu. So, Prasadam prayers. We can sing the Prasadam prayers. Sharira Abhityajal Jarendriya Tahekal Jive Phale Vishaya Sagore Tarmadi Jihati Lobo Mai Sudurmati Take Jata Katina Samsare Krishna Bada Doyamai Kori Bare Jivwa Jai Swaprasada Anna Dilo Bhai Sai Annamrita Pao Radha Krishna Gunagao Preme Dako Sri Chaitanya Nitai Jai Nimai Jai Nitai Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punyamrutam Rajan Vishwaso Nevajayate Prasade Sarva Dukkanam Anirasyo Pajayate Prasanna Chetasahi Asu Buddhi Parya Vishtate Tvayopabhukta Shraganda Vaso Alankara Charchitaham Uchishta Bojina Das Tavamayam Jai Mahi Shri Bhagavat Mahaprasad Ki Jai.